Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. Today is going to be kind of a strange video because I want to talk about something that is a petty annoyance to me and perhaps you as well. I'm highly sensitive to bad smells. So in other words, if I walk into one of those mall stores, I'm not going to name names, I get an instant, the ones with all the low-priced items, and there's such a toxic, off-gassing smell coming from all the plastic and who knows what else. If I, like during construction, if I went into a place that makes countertops, like kitchen countertops, or, where there's solvents and glues and all kinds of chemicals. If my husband is idling a tractor too long and the wind in winter, a diesel tractor, and the wind is coming from a certain direction, like spilled gasoline, tar repair on a roof, equally in that category is smoke and musty, mildewy kind of stuff. And I've said it before, and I've learned my lesson that I once bought a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, I got at an unbelievable price at a garage sale. However, the woman must have been a chain smoker or something, because once I brought it into my own environment, I could smell it, and it was disgusting. And trust me, I'm not bashing smokers. I know it's an addiction. I know that if people could quit, they would. But anyway, we're not going to go there. I just know that most people would not willingly choose to smoke if they could successfully quit. Anyway, however, if you've made that purchase and you brought it home, I felt that I had to try to figure out a way to get rid of that smell. So I'll tell you what I have tried. Oh, I'll preface that with one other thing. I said in a recent video that when my son was young, he was diagnosed with an autoimmune condition. And I remember a specialist, a dermatologist, saying that when the medical community offers you half a dozen solutions for a problem, it means that none of them work very well. Or some might work for some people and not for others. So likewise with trying to get rid of with a stinky book smell, stinky paper smell. I've tried the dryer sheets with some success. And I guess, again, this isn't a scientific experiment. I like to say I'm not wearing a lab coat and safety glasses. I'm just trying to do the best I can with what I've got. And trying to save some of these things. Because frankly, I've had to throw out some things that I think were beyond remediation. So I've tried dryer sheets. I haven't tried coffee. Now, coffee beans are supposed to... So for instance, at one point when my daughter was living in one of her condos, the neighbor's dog or whatever got sprayed by a skunk. And if you've ever smelt that, you know that can almost make you puke. It's so awful. The suggestion that she was given, because, this permeated into her space, was to have open plates, like paper plates or whatever, with coffee beans spread around the house. And presumably that was supposed to work. I don't know if it did. We know that if we want to get rid of smells in our, say, our kitchen waste basket or in the fridge, that we should keep an open box of baking soda. I can't remember if I've tried baking soda. Oh, I also was told that kitty litter works. I think I've also been told that cornstarch. So, I mean, everybody and his brother has a solution or a suggestion. But again, do any of them really work? I was talking to Carol from Crinkled Path the other day, and I don't know how we got on the topic of stinky stuff, but she told me that she has had some luck with putting things in the freezer. I think I tried that, and it didn't work for me and for the particular thing in question. So I have a couple of things to show you, and I'm going to do the sniff test. And obviously you have to take my word for it because you don't have smell vision. So this is a beat up kind of old book. Well, that stamp says 1967. Let me just... Now it kind of just smells like an old book. So it's not... Oh, homework for children. It's not repulsive. It's not like, oh, where's the mold kind of thing. I'll tell you what I've been doing with this. And I also should warn you that any solution you try is certainly not an overnight thing. I have had this book, let me move that out of the way. I've had this book sitting like so. Oh my goodness, I should have cleaned this off. I was busy crafting my little heart out. Anyway, I had this book sort of, and you can do this sometimes fairly successfully with a hardcover book. So I would stand it up like this, kind of make sure it could stand up on its own power, and sort of open up the pages. And I had it sitting over the floor register, which meant that, you know, depending on the season, there would be either hot air or air-conditioned air coming out of that floor vent. It has been there for months. Now, clearly, it seems to have improved the situation here, but it's hardly an efficient solution. Number one, it blocks the airflow into that room to some degree, but it's also very slow, and it's kind of one book at a time. In the past, I think that was more cigarette smoke. It was a warm, sunny day. This is a couple summers ago. Warm, windy summer day. And I would spread these books out on, you know, just outside the front door on the landing. But that's not a very good solution either, because number one, if you lay a book like this down, these are the pages that are exposed to that fresh circulating air. And I had several books spread out, but every so often I'd have to go and turn the page and hope that it would stay open to the next set of pages. Plus, if the wind picked up and the pages were a wee bit fragile, before you know it, there could be damage done to the book. So, not a great solution either. Now, what I have in this bag, and again, I don't know if sealing a smell into a bag is necessarily a good thing, because it doesn't, I mean, it keeps the smell from getting into my airspace, but I don't know. I just don't know. In this bag, I had one of these things. Now, I remember showing this to you in a thrift haul. It says odor absorber, $1 $1.50. So it says neutralizes smoke odors, and probably odors too. Effective up to 300 square feet. So this is quite pleasant. I don't know if it's, you know, as nice as that picture would lead you to believe. Oh, see, I never pulled this up. But I can clearly smell it coming out of these openings. And anyway, why does it want me to pull this up? And you have to forgive these hands. Oh my goodness. I'm so in need of a nail appointment. Oh, this is probably just to reread the instructions. Okay, so this says it's effective up to 300 square feet. Absorbs odors caused by smoke, painting, dampness, pets, solvents, garbage, cooking. May irritate eyes, may irritate skin, do not get in eyes, do not get in skin or on skin or clothing. And there's the poison first aid treatment. Okay, so, and I don't even remember what papers I have in here, to be honest, but let's just take them out and see what we can see. I should probably get rid of that to reduce the glare. Oh, I just caught a whiff of something. I guess it's marginally better. Oh, this is a Norman Rockwell book. A Norman Rockwell Christmas. But see, as I'm fanning these pages, I can still smell it. Now, my husband and both kids have very poor sense of smell. Those kids must have got it from him. They didn't get my acute sense of smell. I don't know what this is. Oh, these are obviously just some white or, you know, blank pages out of books or chapter headings or whatever that okay. Well, I can still smell smoke in there. So I don't know what the answer is. I do know that I peeked into this bag maybe a week or two ago. And I think I had it, I'm not sure, I maybe had it face down. And because the bag was sealed, it was also, the pages felt moist. So I don't know what is going on here in terms of the science behind this. But then I thought, well, I don't want to, like the pages almost seem to be getting wavy. So I didn't want to, you know, maybe get rid of the smell and ruin the pages because there was a great big circular stain on them or something. So I think I then just rearranged them a bit. But it almost seems as though a person needs to, you know, shake them up, move them around, rotate the stuff. Now, they're certainly better than they were. But again, you know, and it probably depends on your sense of smell. If you have an acute sense of smell, you will still pick up traces off whatever it is. This was a beautiful book, and I don't even know if did I show you this in a thrift haul? Look at the beautiful cover. It may not have been scheduled yet. Let me smell this cover. Oh, that's pretty good. I remember at one point, this is several years ago, coming across a garage sale, and the woman was selling these wool area rugs. And the price was really very good. But she said that she could never get rid of the smell that was coming, and they were wool. She couldn't get rid of the smell that was coming from the backing that they had used in the making of the rug. So I took a chance on them, on one of them, you know, maybe a 6x8 or whatever, and just sort of aired it out in the garage for, you know, maybe 6 months or whatever. Let me smell these pages. These pages still stink. So I was hoping to have better news for you. I was hoping to say, as Kim would say, run with scissors to your local Dollarama and buy some of this odor absorber. Now, whoopsie. Now, is the quality of the job that is being done here the result of the wrong product or a quality issue because this is cheap as borscht? So this cost $1.50. I already told you that. I remember being at an automotive supply place once, and of course I was killing time while the guy was finding me whatever parts I needed to buy. And I noticed that they had a similar type thing. It was like 10 times the price, and it was supposed to be an odor remover like that you'd put in your car. So not an air freshener that would mask the smell, but something, again, that would suck up or absorb the bad smells, which could have been, you know, pets, smoking, you know, whatever. The reason I bring that up is, would the $10 product work better than the $1.50 product? I don't know. Now, I just don't know what to tell you. One thing I haven't tried, because that seems like almost throwing good money after bad, but, you know, would it not be in my best interests to try to save and be able to use an image like this? It doesn't even look Christmassy. One thing that just occurred to me that I haven't tried is if I were, for instance, to... Suppose this image was smaller and I decided, oh, I'm going to make a... Well, let's just find a smaller one. Or maybe there are no smaller ones in here. Well, this is slightly smaller. If I glued this down to a piece of cardstock or whatever, or even turned it, you know, ripped some of this up and turned it into a masterboard, would the addition of glue change the mask or disguise or whatever, the smell? Or would dry brushing gesso over something work? Or would using a matte medium, which is almost like a sealant, would that work? And now, you know, the idea just occurred to me. So I guess in a perfect world, I would have had the brainwave first. Oh, here are some small images. I could probably experiment with these. See that? You know, some pages smell better than others. Wonder. That's not too bad. Maybe what I'll promise to do is I will use, you know, I'm not going to fussy cut all that, but I will box these off, cut them out, glue them down, and let this be a test case to see whether or not the simple act of gluing it makes a difference. And then, okay, we've got 3 images. We'll do 3 things. Well, they'll all be glued down, but one will be glue alone. One will be dry brushing gesso over it, over one of them, and the other one will be using matte medium. And maybe I will have something better to report. And if not, then I think I just have to suck it up and, you know, get rid of some of this stuff, because really it's taking up space. It cost me $1.50, and because I was so convinced by the woman who was telling me this, she said, oh yeah, we have pets and I smoke, and it really works. I'm thinking, okay, I don't really trust the nose of a smoker, to be honest, because I think quite often smokers can't smell anything. I bought 3 of them because I was just going to be deodorizing everything in sight. Yeah, I really feel bad about this book, though, because, I mean, it's beautiful. Look at those. Look at those things. Now, what I could do in another attempt, well, I could probably make this stand up on the register. I could try that for a while. The other thing I could do, since I'm a glutton for punishment, it appears, take the images that I want, so, you know, do that and get rid of everything else. Because the script, like, I mean, I'm sure these little prayers and all of the script is lovely too. And certainly the illuminated letters are nice. But the images are really what is selling me on this. So I'll do the register thing for a while, see if there's any improvement, and if not, then that's what I'm going to try next. And maybe I'll give this a wee bit more time. Let me see if, whoops, let me see if, yeah, these still smell like smoke. So I'm going to put everything back in the bag, except for these 3 images, because those will be our test case. In the meantime, if you have a fail-safe method, idiot-proof method that works, please, please, please let us all know in the comments. I'll open this to a new page. I will set that on top. You know, I hate to lose a battle like this to, I'm so sorry. I hate to lose a battle like this to inanimate objects. Like paper. When I have used dryer sheets, I would take a dryer sheet, you know, rip it in half, or rip it or tear it, whatever, I can't remember, into strips, and I would kind of, you know, nest them in between pages. So I didn't want to put a whole sheet in between pages because that seemed like, you know, overkill. But those strips kind of, do I have any handy? Thought I saw them not so long ago. Can't find them right this second. But that may be another thing that I try to, oh, you know what? I think I've just changed my mind. I'm going to leave Norman Rockwell in there. I'm going to take this book out and do the dryer sheets, like, you know, between every second page or whatever, and see what results I can get. And I should maybe, you know, another thing I could try to do is this. Oh, this bag is so big. I could kind of fan these out a bit, because let's face it, the fact that no air can get in is part of the issue here. So don't make it so nice and neat. Make a big mess. And see if that makes a difference. Now, feed all this into this bag. Oh, and the other thing I do, and I've told you this before, is now, if I'm at an outdoor space, like I was at a townwide garage sale last weekend, I smell books. Oh, in fact, well, should I show you that right now? I think I did it with these. I scored, sorry, this is taking me a while. I scored 3 old, like 1920s, so 100 years old, Italian books, illustrated Italian books, and it was outside. It was at this garage sale. So I smelled each one. Covers are nothing great. I would say that's somebody has done a repair there. But again, if somebody was 100 years old, they probably had some work done too. So of course I don't know what any of this means. Although I think the guy was okay, so 1927. Was telling me it had something to do with the Three Musketeers, or one of them did. Anyway, I will show you. So, I don't know what's happening here, but the paper is lovely. It's 100 years old. It does not stink. Indices. I guess that's like finito. The end. Anyway, let me find some of the illustrations. Pencil marks. So to me, well, you'll see some of the other, I'll show you all 3 books. Like, to me, those kind of outfits look French. I don't know what makes me think that, although I do have that French fashion magazine, or not magazine. I bought, oh, I paid a lot of money for that. I cannot believe what I paid for that book. It is beautiful, though. Anyway, I digitized it because it was, you know, really old. It's French fashion. Like from the beginning. And I thought it kind of looked similar. So a fair number of illustrations. And of course, the lovely Italian script, or well, font, words. A nice size. I won't bother pulling out a ruler, but let's just see. 3, 6, so it's 8 wide probably. 3, 6, 9, 10, well, over 10 inches tall. Let's see, a guy like that, you know, could easily be worked in. Oh. He's not exactly a looker, is he? Some horror, what is that? What do you call that when you're trying, jousting? Is that jousting? Like, I mean, the illustrations are really quite lovely. And again, foxing the paper, it's not rag paper, but it is surprisingly strong for its age. Look at the expression on that guy. Anyway, I don't know how I went from getting rid of stinky stuff to showing you these books. Okay, we've seen enough of this one. And of course, again, I think the condition is great, but you can see that it has sewn-in signatures. You can see it's coming away, so it will be no problemo whatsoever to take it apart the rest of the way. I hope that you notice, or well, I hope you notice, I did a little 5-second test video that I now have, well, I bought another light that has all kinds of color settings and intensity settings. And so I was explaining to my husband what I'm doing because, of course, the thing that holds my phone up here was always casting a little rectangular shadow right in where the action is. So anyway, I was telling him that. So you know what his solution was? But I have to say, it works. Well, I won't blind you, but you can see that this is... And I said, yeah, but is it going to last for, you know, sometimes my videos are an hour long. I think the beauty of this, he says, of course it will, because this is some kind of a heavy-duty battery, 18-volt lithium ion. Rigid is the brand, but of course other companies make them. Anyway, it's compact compared to these things I have around me with tripod bases. And it is down here below where anyway, I don't know, just saying. Okay, this one is 1928. Or is it the same? Alessandro Dumas. He wrote both of these. Romanzo. Why am I pretending I can speak Italian? I cannot. Anyway, let's start at the back. It's easier for me to flip that way. So again, we've got some issues condition-wise, but nothing that would stop me from using these things. I don't know, so we had this kind of a thing in the other book. I don't know why that is like that, but anyway. And, you know, it warms the cockles of my heart and allowed the guy to make a sale and allowed me to go home happy. I said, so what do you want for those old Italian books? I said, are they Italian? He says, yeah, I think so. And I had already kind of figured that much out by myself. Anyway, he says, well, how many would you buy? And I said, well, it depends. What's the price? And I said I would take them all if the price is right. So he made me an offer I couldn't refuse. And so I took them all. I wonder why these guys all have such bugged out eyes. See what I mean? Ay, ay, you, it's, oh my goodness, it's 10:30. I should be in bed instead of trying to be coherent in a video. Doesn't that little teeny tiny mustache, again, make you think of somebody who's French? I should put these titles, I should Google them and see what surfaces, and maybe I'll have a better understanding of what I actually bought. But, you know, show me an old book at a reasonable price, a book that doesn't stink, a book that has illustrations, and I'm going to say sold. And this is a big book, so 748 pages. Let's see. Could they not have thrown a few more women into the... Oh, look at that. I was going to say, could they not throw a few more women into these illustrations? Don't know what's going on here, but... Oh, there are a few ladies in this one. Oh, I'd love to be able to read those captions and know what the heck is going on here. But it's also clearly, you know, somebody's particular style of illustration. Okay, we'll take one quick look. Oh, there's a lady. One quick look, and you can see how much thicker this one is. At the last one, this cover is in the worst condition. But again, do we care? Oh, 200 illustrations. Again, same guy, Alessandro Dumas. Why am I making his name sound French? And looks like it cost 15 lira back in the day. So, you know, for people who like kind of these ratty edges and the grungy look, then I've clearly hit pay dirt here. Do we not have a date on this one? 1923. Okay. So it's got this red edging on the pages. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, you didn't see, but I licked my finger. I shouldn't have done that. I guess if I did it once, it's okay. I just better not lick it again. Pick up some kind of 100-year-old whatever from Italy. Well, that's a good one. Oh, we've got a nun. Here's a lady. See those? Well, again, I've said it before. I don't know if you're nodding in agreement or shaking your head saying, why does she keep saying that? It's Italian. Give it a rest. Give it a rest. Okay, so we've got an embrace there. Yeah, this book seems to have the most illustrations and probably the most females in it too. So I will, you know, again, I'm so behind in scanning and digitizing. Oh, I would cut that axe and block out of the, you know, but who doesn't like a picture of a sleeping lady? So anyway, how many pages does this one have? About 500. This paper is probably the thinnest of them all. But again, I am just amazed at the great condition. I think we call that stink eye. Oh. that guy has a knife. That guy has a sword. Like, that hardly seems fair. Oh my goodness. Oh, a hanging. Yeah, I like this one probably the best of all because there's so many more women in it. Look at that. There are probably jewels and riches in there. I can hardly wait to see what I put as a title on this video. How to get rid of bad smells and... Oh my goodness. Yes, more ladies. More ladies, more ladies. This is my favorite one. I'll take this one apart first. Anyway, this cover is toast. Okay, guys, I don't know if this if this little flip through at the end kind of earned me a couple of brownie points for having wasted your time talking about how to get rid of smells, because honestly, I didn't really provide any answers. I provided more questions than I did answers. But I will do as I promised, and we'll see if that makes a difference. Yeah. Thanks, guys. We will see you in the next one. Bye.